was thinking, and you know what I realized? There's probably only ever going to be one pure, clean run on semen retention. Ever. Because I'm on semen retention, I'm on a high streak, but I slipped up, and I realized I slipped up, and I was like, dang. And I was dwelling on the fact that I slipped up, but then I realized it's virtually impossible to not slip up on this journey. Now, I didn't release, I'm still retaining, but it's one of those things like if you edge, if you watch porn, if you fornicate, if you hook up, if you do anything in that manner, but you still retain your seed, like, well, obviously that's not a clean, pure streak. And then it was really making me think, it's like, dude, every single streak, it's virtually impossible to not slip up in lust in some capacity. So it was really making me think, why don't I just keep going and going and going until I do have that perfect streak? And it's the same with smoking for me, or taking edibles or whatever. If I can go a month without doing it, but I certainly can't go a year without doing it, okay, well, let me work up to a year. And then maybe when I do actually go a year, that's like the once in a lifetime time. Like, what if every single time you get on semen retention, you fap, you edge, you touch yourself, you get with a girl, you do whatever. It's not a clean, pure streak. A clean, pure streak would be no fapping at all and no fornicating at all. That is truly what I think is like a once in a lifetime. That may literally be when you actually truly get on a pure, clean, long streak. That could potentially be your once in a lifetime, all-time high streak in semen retention. Because if you just look back at every streak, dude, every single streak I got on, there was always levels. It was like, oh, 1 week, I'm almost relapsing right there. And I'm just like, I'm so close, but I want to get on the streak. Like, I've never had a streak where I'm just not fapping at all. Not a single time. So on this streak, that's certainly not what I've done, but it was just making me think, like, dude, there's gonna come a time, and maybe it's already happened for some men, certainly not me yet, but there's gonna come a time where you go on a long streak, you might be on 54 days, you might be on 154 days, but you realize you haven't fapped at all, you haven't edged at all. That is your chance to make the all-time high. That will probably end up being your all-time high ever. So I say keep it going. Now for me, I'm gonna keep this streak going, even though I've slipped up and I've made mistakes. But guess what? I'm still retaining. So I'm gonna keep the streak going. But it was really making me think, it's like, dude, there's gonna come a time where you're on a streak and you have not fapped. And I think that's more important in this whole semen retention journey. It is more important to just say no fap, because this whole semen retention, I'm just having an epiphany right now, live on camera. It's actually dangerous to say semen retention instead of no fap, because if you just say semen retention, then the focus is just on retaining your semen. But if you say no fap, you can't even get in the position to release your semen. If you say no fap and no fornicate, That means you can't have a girl do it and you can't do it yourself. You cannot stimulate yourself at all. That is what we should call this whole entire shit. What's this semen retention crap? Like, dude, oh my goodness, dude. I'm sitting here, I'm just like, oh, as long as I don't release, like, dude, what? That's so stupid, yo. We need to be on no fap. This whole semen retention thing is blowing my mind because it's just so stupid. It's like literally you could just be like, ah, for 5 hours straight, edging, give yourself blue balls, make your stomach hurt and everything, and your whole entire legs almost feels like, yeah. Anyways, instead of give yourself blue balls, do all this stupid crap. You could just not be fapping to begin with. So I think I'm gonna start calling all these videos no fap instead of semen retention. Because if you don't fap, you're automatically on semen retention. Just don't hook up with girls and don't touch yourself. It's really that simple. But for me, my problem is I'm always focused on, oh, let me semen retention. Oh, let me get to 100 days. When I get to 100 days, I'm gonna get superpowers. Like, bro, come on, bro. Meanwhile, I'm just like, yo, come on. So I think this is my message to all. Do not fap at all. Do not edge at all. That's gonna ruin your whole entire semen retention. That's like somebody jumping into a pool without the water. You're just like, oh, I wonder which is more likely to get injured, if we jump in the pool with the water or jump in the pool without the water. Just make sure the water is in the pool. The analogy being, just don't touch yourself to begin with. You don't have to worry. Like, when you're always touching yourself, you're like, oh no, am I gonna relapse? Am I not? Oh no, is it gonna... You don't need to have that uncertainty. By applying no fap instead of prioritizing semen retention, you have the water in the pool. Go ahead, jump. You know what I mean? I don't know if that analogy even makes sense. But either way, the point is, get on no fap. Forget about the semen retention crap. I'm really thinking about how stupid it was, because I'm just like, dude, I'm calling this semen retention. I'm just like, oh, let's get the 100 days so we get superpowers. I'm almost at 100 days. And you do sort of get superpowers in a way, but the point is, it's much better to just call this whole entire thing no fap. And my message, wrapping this up and bringing it back towards the beginning of this video, there is gonna come a time, I believe it will be your all-time high on this streak of semen retention, where it's really just a focus on no fap, which is what I call a clean, pure streak. If you're on 98 days, oh, I'm about to get 100, but you're just doing all this all throughout the whole entire streak, all the way up to getting to 100 days or whatever, that's not even like, bro, that's just, it's a waste. It's stupid. It's literally gonna hurt you. It's gonna give you blue balls or whatever. It's just, don't do it. It's stupid. Do not focus on semen retention. Sounds dorky anyway. Focus on no fap. No fap November, whatever. No nut November. No fap, no nut, whatever you want to call it. I call it celibacy. I call it purity of Jesus Christ. I call it being clean, being pure. Like, that is truly, that would just make this streak so much more impactful. And so I was just thinking about that, and I was like, yo, I thought I would share that, because maybe you are on a clean, pure streak right now. You're only on 30 days. Make it your all-time high. It very well could be your all-time high, because think about how hard it is on top of it. That's the whole point I started making this video, or thought about making this video, because of thinking how hard that is to go 100 days on semen retention. Okay, that's impressive, but how many times did you fap throughout that? How many times did you whatever? If you go 0 to 100 days without even fapping, without even edging once, not even to scratch, if your thing itches, you're just like, you don't You just let it itch. You know what I mean? You don't scratch it. That's how much you are not fapping. That's what you want to be on. That's what I'm trying to be on. So, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Yeah, so this is the end of the video.